million. So I think without wasting time, because this session has a certain focus, I would request you to go ahead with the moderation. Now, my job in this webinar is to keenly listen to experts and absorb as much as I can for the suggestions. And we have Mr. Harshadeep Kamble, who is the Commissioner of Industry Department. Actually, he has a meeting. So Harshdeep had made a request to this panel that if he could be, asked to intervene early in the session, then he could leave by 2:30. So over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Manisha. It is indeed my pleasure now to formally invite our panelists for this very important discussion. And I think, first and foremost, let me congratulate, Shri Manisha Verma and her team for actually organizing this. I think it is absolutely needed. So I think, envisioning a media and entertainment policy for Maharashtra, I think it's good to sort of put that down. And I think it's a very, very good initiative. I really appreciate it. Over to our session today, I think it's about understanding the scope and benefit of industry status. But before that, let me do a quick round of introduction for everyone. First and foremost, Dr. Harshadeep Kamble, Development Commissioner Industries. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your time. We also have with us Vikramjeet. Vikram is an old friend. I know Vikram very well. Thank you for being here, Vikram. He's the head film felicitation office and the Government of India, but Vikram has donned many hats. I think he understands films particularly and this industry really well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, my distinct over to Sri Mahesh Ane. Thank you, Mahesh. I think he's a cinematographer par excellence. I think done a lot of ad films across industry, many of them award-winning and of course heart-wrenching. So very well done on that count. He was awarded as he got the National Award for Best Cinematographer in 2005. One of the works which I particularly remember is Swadesh. But I think there are innumerable pieces, and I wouldn't get into that detail. So thank you, Mahesh. Thank you for joining us, and look forward to your inputs. Ashok is a veteran in our industry. I think he's a filmmaker and social activist. He's currently the president of Indian Film and Television Directors Association, which is and chief advisor of FWICE. And therefore will don these two hats. I think especially for Western Indian Cine Employees Association, how do they look at things? What is happening? What can we do from their point of view? Many times in our discussions we do not bring that element in, and I think I'm really happy, Manisha, that you invited him, and thank you, Ashok, for being here. Most recently, Ashok did The Accidental Prime Minister, but of course he's done many other films. So thank you very much, Ashok, for being here. And finally, to the two ladies, I think thank you for organizing this, and thank you for being on this panel, both to Manisha Verma and Anshul Grover. So with that, let me take a couple of minutes to just sort of underline our agenda for the day, or for the hour, sorry, for this session. Basically, it's about understanding the scope of industry status. So how do we continue to formalize media and entertainment as an industry and a sector? And what are the benefits that will flow out of it? And what all needs to be done more in order to do that? I must say a lot has been done in the last 2 decades, particularly starting with the initiative by late Srimati Sushma Swaraj. But I think after that, a lot has been done across both center and the state. But let me underline. So I think first of all, let me give you the big picture. The industry is about $25 billion, or roughly, let's say 180,000 crore in Indian currency. So that's the size of the industry. So in many ways, you could say it's not a very large industry. But I think the good thing about the industry is it's been growing very, very rapidly. And when I say industry, I now mean all elements of media and entertainment. And I will talk to all those sub-segments also quickly. But I wanted to let you know, first of all, that it is growing very rapidly. So that's the first part. So Barring this year, let's leave the COVID year out, and I don't want to, and we don't have the data for this year in any case. I think the industry has grown at about 15% cumulative annual growth rate over the last 20 odd years. So it's really grown in leaps and bounds. Suffice to say, the industry tends to grow at between 1.5 times to 2 times of the nominal growth of GDP of the country. So it is a growth multiplier in that sense, as we say. The industry is also a growth multiplier from the point of view because the industry houses so all the advertising happens through this industry, and through advertising the growth happens. So the indexation of advertising to GDP growth, and therefore being the carrier of advertising, the industry has a very prominent role to play in GDP growth despite its small size. The other important thing I wanted to tell you about this industry is it's also got a multiplier effect on many other industries. It's got a very close linkage to tourism, travel and tourism, strengthening our cultural heritage and basically getting people into that space. So that's very important. It's got a huge multiplier effect on manufacturing, and it may seem a little odd, but I must tell you, particularly in electronics goods, particularly in mobiles run because people want to watch videos. Let me be honest with you. People buy better and better mobiles because they want to watch more and more videos. And this is the industry which actually makes those videos. So therefore, the linkage, particularly to electronic manufacturing, is very well established globally and India as well. So as that sector grows, I think it's a propeller to that sector as well. And I think the third and a very important piece is this industry also has, and progressively in future will have more, in my opinion, linkage to even education. And the reason I say that is, as we know, and this is more a COVID phenomenon, but it has started pre-COVID. I think as we go more online or go digital between both physical and online in terms of education as well, and I think that is something which has come to stay. It's not that physical education will go away, but I think online education will become important. I think the role of videos and the creation of videos, I think, is very, very important. And I think that linkage, also the developmental learning in the early years for children, I think very well established and is very closely linked to media and entertainment as an industry. So very important role there. And lastly, I want to sign off basically on the importance of the industry from employment point of view. So if you look at it, the industry employs directly about 1.5 billion, but more importantly, about 5.5 to 6 million people, which is direct, indirect, and induced. And direct and indirect is very well known. Induced is actually in an industry like ours, particularly when you do production and all that, the number of people who come to service them, including the common chai wala and the sandwich wala and some of these things which appear all over the country, I think is what is induced employment as well. And there is a very important role of induced employment. So I think that's another important thing which we do. So I think the industry has the potential to create at least 5 to 6 million jobs more. So I think that's what is the most important thing. So with that, I want to sort of open up and bring to your notice, and also the first bring you to the sectors, and then talk about the points which are there. So if you look at broadly the sectors of the industry, I think TV, digital, print, films, animation and VFX, live events, gaming, out of home, and radio. I think all the sectors are important, and all the sectors are growing. I think that's an important thing. Although TV constitutes roughly 50% of this industry at this moment, and between TV, print, digital, and films, it's close to about 85% of the full industry. But I think the growth in gaming and animation, VFX, I think the potential for growth in events as we go forward, I think, is something to be underlined. Most importantly, all sectors are growing. In all the sub-segments are also growing. And I think that's a very important piece. So therefore, the role of that growth and the underlying factor for that growth is important. So I think with that, what I want to do is to open up, and maybe I will request the comments from all of you, your thinking, and then basically we will take it on as we go forward. So I think the areas which we need to focus on is one, the industry status and corporatization and formalization of industry, which is indeed the topic. But industry and government collaboration, how can we do that more actively here? And how can we keep that dynamic? So, so basically the thing about this industry is because of digital, as you know, particularly, but in general, media and entertainment, it's sort of the pace at which it moves is really fast. So how quickly are we keeping pace with that is an important piece. And finally, basically, there's some discussions around, what are the incentives? What are the subsidies? What is it that needs to be done to further ease, basically, and improve the ease of doing business for this industry? And thank you. With that, thank you once again. There isn't a better place than Mumbai to sort of host this, because cultural capital of the country, entertainment capital of the country, seat of Bollywood. And I think there is a lot which is there in our history, but there's a lot which we can do to make our future brighter. And as I often have said in the past as well, I want to sign off and then hand over, and then basically my request would be to all of you to share your thoughts for maybe 5 odd minutes. Please keep it crisp so that thereafter we can keep it more interactive. But I do want to sign off by saying that with this industry, we definitely have a very strong potential of making in India, or may I say making in Maharashtra, making in Mumbai, and showing the world. So I think, with that, maybe I would first invite Dr. Harshdeep Kamble for your comments, because I know you may have to step out in between. So if you could start off with your comments, and then we will go to one industry representative, and then coming back.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhanshu. Actually, that was very elaborative kind of, introduction that you made to the subject. It's very nice to hear that. But before that, I would like to congratulate Madam for such a nice, initiative of Panorama, that envisioning film and media entertainment policy for Maharashtra. So this is really wonderful discussion that is being, I was just saying from morning also. So just to give a brief about, since I am a Commissioner for Industries Development, so when we talk about industries, we talk about two things. One is investment, another is employment. And this film industry, it fits into these both criteria very, very well. As you mentioned, Sudhanshu, that the employment generation is directly and indirectly is around 5 million. So, and then it has a very large potential of another 5 million in same. And Bollywood, of course, is quite such a big brand. I don't know if we can ever value it or in terms of money, but it's a fantastic and a worldwide brand that is being known. So when we talk about kind of an industry status to any other industry, what we normally when we define industries, so what we look at is a manufacturing sector. So that is one area which we look at, and then we give some kind of incentives to them. But now, considering that more than 65% of the revenues for state like Maharashtra comes from service sector, so we are also now concentrating on other service sectors, like we have this IT companies coming up with various kind of their presence in entertainment industry also. So we have a policy, of course, to support this IT products, IT services. Those who are into animation, film production, we are supporting to them also. But having said that, when we are looking at a broader perspective of formulation of a policy, as I said, that investment and employment, these are two major criteria, so which is being fulfilled by this entertainment industry. What we do is if there is an industry, then we look at what is its fixed capital investment. So here in entertainment industry, like you have production houses, so we can they will have to give to the government kind of their projections, like what would be their investment and what is the employment that would be created out of that, direct and indirect, both we take it. And then based on that, a policy could be framed. Based on all these figures, a policy could be framed which would help this industry to grow. And major things which we could, look out at is whether they can be, many of production houses are not so big. Some of them are really very big, but many of them would fall under the criteria of MSME. And very recently, Government of India has also modified their MSME Act. So these small production houses could also form under that MSME. And now service sector is also being taken in this definition of MSMEs. So there we could come out with a policy like what we do as of now. For MSME, what we do is that we give interest subvention, like for any kind of a movie or investment that is being done by any production houses. So just like for industries, we give 5% of the interest subvention. So if you are taking loan from bank, then we give them 5% of subsidy. So similar kind of a thing can also be done. Then next is for industries, then the rates for even for electric, the rates are different for industry. Possibly they must be charging you commercial rates. These rates are lower. Then electric duty exemption also. There is whatever whatever bill that is generated, there is 9 to 10% extra surcharge that is being charged by the government. So that also could be excluded for such kind of units, which would be a part of our policy. One more thing which we can look at is this animation, visual effect, gaming kind of units. They fall under our IT policy, so we can extend the benefits like this. As I was mentioning about interest subvention, this kind of benefits could also be given to these units already, because it is already a part of our IT policy. So having said that, and also having said that this what we are looking at is service sector. So we need to design a policy which is based on the present industrial policy of Government of Maharashtra. Maybe, madam, we can discuss this in detail later on, because this is, as of now, this session is particularly more about a broad spectrum kind of a discussion. So whatever suggestions that would come from the private player, the private persons who are participating in this, we could be able to design a very good policy which would ultimately help government also, in a sense that the employment that would be generated out of this would of course help Maharashtra. Another thing is whatever product that you make out of this and then you sell. So there is of course an entertainment tax that is being paid to Government of Maharashtra. So government also gets benefited out of this. So anything other than capital subsidy. My request would be your suggestions has to be anything other than capital subsidy, because government doesn't really give capital subsidy. So capital subsidy means, let me tell you that if some industry is investing, let us say around 100 crores. So many of them are requesting that the upfront capital subsidy, like 20% or 10% of that, should be given by the government. That is what is normally requested. But we don't entertain such kind of a request. This capital subsidy is never given. So you should come out with some suggestions wherein you are also benefited, and then since you are paying huge taxes to the government, we would be paying you some part of that taxes. So it could be such kind of suggestion, such kind of a policy which would benefit you also and to us also. So that would be my opening remarks, please. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I would just like to add one thing. If there are animation films which are made, so then there is a special provision that we give some kind of a subsidies to animation film. As I said, that it is part of our IT policy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. May I now invite Ashok Pandit to basically share his thoughts? I think, Ashok, over to you.
सर आप माइक अनम्यूट कीजिए.
Hello. It's fine. Hello. Hello.
Audible, sir. आप हम आपको सुन पा रहे थे. अभी आप फिर से क्लिक कीजिए उसको.
No, we can hear.
Yes.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. Thank you, Sudhanshu, my friend. Vikramjit ji, Harjeet ji, Manisha ji, thanks for this interesting session. Achal ji, my friend Mahesh, and President of IMPA, TP Agrawal Sahab. You see, I personally feel as a technician, as a producer, and also a part of the industry where all the 32 crafts are, a part of this industry. My basic essence of the entire, this discussion is that I, as a person from the industry, have never felt or never got that confidence from the system of this country that I have been taken seriously as an industry. The kind of confidence, the kind of the way the other industries are taken seriously by the system, by the system, I mean to say the governments, by the entire authority of the country, is not taken the way the other industries are taken. Now, there are a lot of reasons, that are a lot of ways why it has happened, because the industry as such, the entertainment industry, that does not concentrate only on the film industry or the television industry or the advertising industry. Because I feel very strongly that our industry is one of those industries which are connected to every essence of life. It is connected to every other industry. It is connected to day-to-day, living of human beings also, for that matter, and the growth of the country as matter. Our contribution has been immense as far as the growth of the industry is concerned. We are connected to the tourism industry. We are connected to any industry for that matter. But unfortunately, I might be trying to be very, I'm trying to be very honest, that I have never gained that confidence that I am a part of this entire, growth of the country or growth of the industry sector as it is. I've always felt that I'm being called when there has to be some promotions of some concept. There is some thing has to be promoted. There has to be some. So that feeling which we as part of the industry have been given, first and foremost, I think that has to come out from all of us, and there has to be serious working on that. Harjeet ji, this is my honest feeling, because any kind of serious thinking, now that we have started, Manisha ji, thanks a lot for that. That I think this is the first time this kind of initiative has been taken. We had to be given that kind of confidence, whether they are technicians, whether they are theaters, whether they are production houses, whether they are producers. Manisha ji, the production sector, the producers, unfortunately, are not those Gine Chune 10 producers who are named. I'm telling you, more than 60% of the industry is, the production sector, the producers are in losses. They have sold their houses. They are on streets. They don't know how to, cope up. But then, on their own, they stand up and they start producing films. We unfortunately have become loners. This entertainment industry, especially the film and television industry and the technicians, are loners. We try to climb onto each other's shoulders and then rise up. Unfortunately, we never have got that confidence that fine, tomorrow if we have fallen down somewhere, there is a hand which will pick us up. We have never got that confidence. I'm sure that now that discussions have started happening, we all are together on this. There has to be some basic, we're talking big things. We're talking how much this industry gives, what happens, and then what all can be done. My request as a technician, as a producer, as a person from the industry who represents the workers also of the industry also, is that I need that confidence from the system that don't worry, at a pat on my back, this industry is one of the most respected industry and we really care for you. That has to come from within us, from the system of this country of ours, then only I think things will start moving ahead and things will start, working. And because we have contributed to this country, the way the theater sector, the way the production center, the way the technicians, the way the workers, the way the information and broadcast sector, we are connected to every industry. So industry fast, but well, the country is as important as film industry, any other consumer, aviation industry. Seriousness has to be given to this industry. Only I think then whatever we are working upon today, from today onwards, whatever we are doing, only then it will be fruitful. Otherwise, we will, continue working the way we are working till now. Feeling about the entire thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you, Ashok.
Yeah, I just wanted to intervene to Ashok because Mr. Ashok made a very passionate and very justifiable plea that this industry needs to be taken very, very seriously. And I got a lot of hope when I heard our Commissioner Industries, Mr. Harshdeep, talking to us. I think here there is an opportunity now. Once we go into engage more deeply, then we can actually look at what are the possibilities of design incentives. Because what we are hearing are very contrarian voices on this issue. I mean, much of the leadership makes a claim that the industry status has already been accorded to this sector. And when I tried to look into it and refine my understanding, I learned that it was mentioned in the IDBI Act where you can actually now take some institutional credit under that act. But however, the kind of incentives that Harshdeep was just outlining some time ago, which are available to MSMEs or to the industries as such, other manufacturing units, those are the kind of incentives that are not available to the media entertainment sector. And I think we will be, this is first of our conversation, we need to sit together again and really look at the scope of what are the possibilities of an incentive. And Harshdeep, to you, my request would be that though we can extend the benefits, say, to individuals under the ambit of IT sector policy, but let us look at this sector in a holistic way as a standalone sector and let us craft a policy for it. Because when we try to just give, in piecemeal, when we try to address the issue, then what happens? Something will fall under IT sector, something will fall under something else. But we are not able to have a big picture or the macro view of the sector and really craft a policy that addresses the whole sector. So let us now decide, since you are there and you are very forward-looking and positive about this whole conversation, I would say let us now go into the nitty-gritties this time. Of course, after this panel discussions and webinar, create a kind of a drafting group only focused on this theme, and let us try to come out with a policy, because otherwise we just hear in parliament or in public forums that we need incentives or this is just a symbolic status. And I think we need to really, as from the side of government, give this assurance about the anguish that Mr. Pandit was articulating, that no one takes them seriously or they are not taken as seriously as other industry. So I'll be reaching out to you Harshdeep for this, and yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I would certainly like to be a part of this group to come out with, a detailed guidelines on what could be the kind of a policy for this sector. And having said that, I would also share, ma'am, with you what we can give as of now also, because some part of it also falls into our IT policy. So as I mentioned about the animation and then production houses which are related with animation. So those things I would immediately by tomorrow I'll be sending to you. So later on, then we can discuss the broader framework, right? And I would like to take your leave, ma'am. I have another visit to attend, please, with the minister.
Thank you personally.
Yeah, right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Harshit Kamble. I think thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. We'll
Thank you
be
for your views, very concrete ideas as well. Thank you. And I think, as we were saying, we'll make it more holistic, but whatever comes first
Yeah.
can be given. And I think, thank you for this.
right. Thank you.
May I now request, actually welcome CTP Agrawal, President of IMPA, to actually share his thoughts. Welcome, and I'm requesting you to share your thoughts.
Yeah, sure. The thing is that the IMPA is the biggest association of the film industry. It was the oldest association. It was started in 1937. And all the associations, they have come forward from the IMPA only. Say Guild, IMPA, AMPTT, and all the associations, they came from IMPA itself. They were parted away from there. Now, the biggest problem, Ashok Pandit has already said, that the benefit of these loans and this policy will go to maximum to the biggest producers, the producers who are the big producers. But we are concerned for the small producers also. The producers who are making the films, say up to 10 crore rupees, 8 crore rupees, 5 crore rupees, 4 crore rupees, something like that. For those producers, they are not getting loan from anywhere. If they go to any bank, they are not getting any loan. They don't have any property to mortgage. We have to see them also that how they can get a loan from everywhere. And secondly, you must have seen, Manisha ji, you are here now. In the film city or everywhere, the producers are given problem by maximum of the workers association, other associations. So we have to, we have to sit down with them again. We have to make some rules, regulations, so that the producers, they can shoot everywhere very nicely without getting any problem. We have already, Ashok Pandit is a member of IMPA also, and he is the president of Director Association also. And he is a good friend, and we have already talked to him. And I think हम दोनों मिलकर काफी प्रॉब्लम सॉर्ट आउट करते भी हैं. लेकिन नंबर 2, प्रोड्यूसर्स को जैसे से इन हैदराबाद, झारखंड, पंजाब, यूपी, they are getting lot of subsidies. I think Bombay should also give the subsidy to them also. Only they give the subsidy to Marathi movies. And that too, they need a letter from IMPA also. So I think the producers from all the sectors, they should also get these subsidies. And that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Shagrawal. May I now request Mahesh Shane to share his thoughts, and basically then I'll ask Vikramjit to talk.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for having me on this panel. It really troubles me to hear so much about finance. What you people have missed out completely is that this industry, we call ourselves an industry. We are made out of people. People are the guys who create the films. And the people are the ones who receive nothing from any side. Because we lack an industry status, we do not have insurances, we do not have contracts, we do not have a proper wage hike that should happen along with inflation. So these are the real core problems that the people of the industry face, that the technicians face, that the workers face. Why has the government never addressed this? It's nice to say that, yeah, okay, I mean, we are going to give finance here, we're going to give finance there, and we are going to be, helping somebody, or as Agarwal Saab says, they should start funding other films besides Marathi films also. All that is there. But who looks at the people? I mean, Ashok will know, we fought for this for years. that there is nothing standardized in terms of our for our people. There is, I mean, if I send a list of the fees or the wages to be paid, the first people to oppose it are the producers. You know, so the thing is, when do we come on a common platform? When do we sort out these things? You see, you must understand, without the crew, you can't make a film. So why are we not building this whole process from the bottom? Let's strengthen our foundations. And who is the foundation? It's your technicians, it's your art department people, it's your light boys, it's the people who supply the lights. But unfortunately, our entire industry is only based for the actors. You know, actor and his crew, they get everything. The actor comes with his, you know, 5 people, 6 makeup wale, साथ में 6-7 दोस्त, उनके लिए खाना ताज से आता है. All that happens. And हम लोग को breaks नहीं मिलते हैं, हम लोग को वड़ा पाव नहीं मिलता है बराबर time पे. So look at the disparity. And who is it that makes all this? Who is it that creates the films? Why are we not? I mean, everybody says film industry. We are not an industry. We are a mama papa business house. Where they've got just a number of people. You have now 10. We thought when the corporates came in, things would change. No, they all went back to the same old ways. So primarily, I'm thinking there are. I mean, I've got a list here of the kind of the problems and the grievances that we face, and this is where the government should step in. They should make some uniform laws as to how this industry should run. Why is it that I have to shoot 16 hours a day and get paid for 8 hours? I mean, we are the only workers in the world who work on an average 12 to 14 hours and what is known as a shift. Can somebody tell me what is a shift? It's supposed to be technically 8 hours. What has happened to the 8 hours? I mean, people come from Bhayandar and Mira Road. They are expected to work till 9:30, 10, 11 at night, go back home and be back on the set at 7 again. They don't get conveyances. They don't get any kind of transport. Aap Film City mein pack up karo to how do you get to the next bus stop? Why are we not looking at these core problems? Money comes, yaar. Money to aa hi jata hai. Picture to banti hai. We are still the largest filmmaking country in the world. So why are we talking of money? Why are we not talking of the core problems that an average person faces? You know, because if you have a crew that is happy, you have a good film on hand. You know, unlike salaried person who every day at 6 o'clock, you know, he reports sick and he still gets paid. I work on one film a year. Now that one film is supposed to sustain me, and if I don't get paid, what do I do? Kabhi bhi main ek senior technician hu, I really don't face so many problems. But an average man, they are up against the wall. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, Ashok knows exactly what I'm talking of. So, so I'm sorry for this outburst, but that's it is, you know.
Maheshji, this
Yes, sir. नहीं सर, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, आप म्यूट हो. सर, हाँ जी.
Maheshji, देखिए, you are also there. You know that 90% producers, they lose entire money. They don't get anything. They sell their houses, they sell everything. They are in so much of loss. See, as far as I am concerned, I am a producer also. I have made also more than 50 movies, right? And not a single person in the film industry can accuse me of not paying the money or not.
नहीं.
Just listen to me, please.
जी.
When I'm talking for general producers, right? For general producers, we have to have some rules. In the pictures which are less than 2 crore rupees, the pictures which are 5 crore rupees, So we have to finalize some rates for them. You understand? If we finalize the rates for them, I don't think there's going to be any problem. And
Yeah.
and in the industry, the rates are not less. They are getting good money. But I'm saying, and Ashok is also there, we always sat down together and settled all the issues. But now for some time, there's from 18 associations to 32 associations they have cropped up. Can you tell me I will get the dresses made from a person who is from the federation? No. I should be allowed to make my dresses from anywhere. I should take my security guards from anywhere. You understand? A producer cannot be a bound laborer in front of the workers.
Nahi, sir, you are getting me wrong. I am not trying to target the producers at all. Not at all.
Because you are saying that I think the producers they pay. Yeah, if any producer is not paying properly, we should take a proper action against them. We stop their shooting. We punish them, and Ashok knows it. We do it.
Yes, sir, I'm aware of it. I'm not saying that you people don't do that. Yes, of course.
That is what I'm saying. The government should finalize the rates. If the government
Yes.
finalizes for all the people, I don't think there will be any problem.
Yeah, that's what see. That is exactly what I'm saying. When we become an industry status, certain things should be finalized. You know कि भाई एक कैमरामैन, you know आप 1 करोड़ की पिक्चर कर रहे हो तो आपको इतना मिलना चाहिए. आप 5 करोड़ की पिक्चर कर रहे हो तो इतना मिलना चाहिए. See, these things have to be sort of. Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's not possible.
सर इंश्योरेंस नहीं होते हैं, किसी की टांग टूट जाती है तो हम लोग भीख मांगते हैं, भाई इसके लिए कुछ कर दो, ये कर दो, ऐसा हो जाता है सर.
Manisha ji is the managing director of the now this film city, and we have always tried to do very well with the producers, with the workers. For me, when we sat down for the dispute meeting, for me there's no producer, for me there's no director, there's no worker. We always work out कि कसूर किसका, he should be punished. Right? That's what we do. And the basic thing, the rates should be okay. That every producer should be able to pay. And before the release of the picture, you should pay it. There's no doubt about it.
Let me make a point here that I think the conversations we are having is very important. And I don't think that Mr. Mahesh is trying to, if I heard him right, he is not trying to actually put the blame on the producers that they are being callous about the workers. I think the request that he is making is the HR related policies as labor laws and labor laws and social security safeguards that actually would accrue some kind of regulations on number of working hours, on the kind of minimum wage payments, on skilled, unskilled ratios, which is inflation indexed. I think the point he is making, some kind of insurances and other benefits which would accrue to a more formalized sector of employees, and the whole thing is formalized once you have an industry status in that.
That's right.
So, and I think his address is more he's seeking more intervention from the government rather than from the producers, if I've got him right.
See, I'm not trying to get to the producers at all. I'm trying to say these are the issues faced by them and us.
It's okay, Maheshji. That is, I mean that these conversations are actually to thrash out. Yeah. So I think Sudhanshu, you move ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. I will summarize. So, Mahesh, I think first of all, just before I go to Vikram, I'll come to you, Vikram. First of all, thank you for raising these, and I think as Manisha summarized very well. About what Manisha ji said. Actually, it's about trying to. I think this is part of the industry status as well. I would say, Manisha ji. I think therefore bringing in. And I think with the new labor codes, maybe or whatever, bringing some of these under a wider ambit of some kind of codes, like they exist in manufacturing, is important. So I think, so that people are answerable to some very basic things. I don't want it to be too onerous as well. Let me be honest with you, because I think it's a creative field. There has to be some flexibility and liberty. But at the same time, there should be certain basic rules, and then there should be certain things which should be followed. And I think that will be very, very helpful, because I think, and anybody who does not follow, there should be I'm a very firm believer in policy and penalty. And I'm not such a big believer in permission. So I don't like the word permission. I love policies and I like penalties. If there is somebody who does something wrong, there should be penalties, because the moment we bring permission, it becomes really convoluted. It goes back to the old times. So I'm saying the point is, this is a good framework, and I think thank you for raising this. At that level, let me go to Vikramjit, and then we will continue our discussion.
Thank you, Sudhanshuji. Thank you so much, sir. Again, thank you to the MFSCDC for having me here, Manisha-ji, Achal-ji. I'd like to address this from a basic point that, when we talk about the film industry, we're talking primarily about IP creation, and which results into content, and that leads to monetization, distribution, creativity, all coming together. And there are two key aspects to this. One is, of course, capacity building, the more that is people. And as just now said, I think people are there. Our industry doesn't have really an HR policy. So I think if in the policy framework that is being made, it is absolutely vital that while we go in for skill development, there should be skill enhancement too for those who are already in the business. That is a very important part of capacity building. The other part of capacity building is that the people who are involved in the various forms of either it be film or television or right now web series or any form of content. I use the word film to engulf all these forms of content, that if there could be enhanced capacity building, which is with people who are working in the sector, currently employed in the sector, be they below the line, above the line, if they can be trained, if they can be taken care of from a skill development basis, I think it'll only enhance the capacity of the business, the capacity of the industry to build IP. While talking about IP, it could be purely production, it could be co-production. Co-production could be between, two people from India, one person from India, and another person from another country. We have 14 odd co-production treaties that the government of India has signed, and with the kind of dynamism that exists in Marathi cinema, the kind of dynamism that exists in non-Marathi cinema, which is based, or Hindi cinema and other cinema, which is based out of Mumbai, out of Maharashtra, lends itself very well to these international co-productions. International co-productions, so international funding coming in, that allows a certain amount of leeway to, again, concentrate on that IP building, and that IP building then hopefully will kind of percolate down to the people. Ma'am, in this regard, the commissioner did talk about an MSME scheme, and I think that is a very, very good idea. If we were to have our industry as a part of the MSME plan, as a part of the industries act, where electricity, be it water, be it other kind of tariffs, which could be looked at from a fiscal incentive point of view, a non-fiscal incentive point of view. So I think the larger concept is that the more incentivization that there be, there is a factor called the additionality component. What happens, ma'am? There has been a study worldwide which is shown that incentives or subsidy in whichever form given to the producer or the production unit, be it in terms of tariffs, be it in terms of a support for development of the film or completion of the film, be it in terms of, if you're employing so many people from within the state, there are various kind of incentive programs. The additionality factor is that the production expense would be in that particular jurisdiction or in that particular state and wouldn't actually be going out. So it becomes an additional revenue, employment, expenditure, which is incurred within the state. This additionality component, ma'am, when studied worldwide, it is seen that it has added not only to the GDP of the state, but has a huge induced impact, which Sudhanshuji has just mentioned in terms of the impact on tourism. So, a lot of the other points have already been mentioned, so I wouldn't want to repeat them. I would just like to go back and state that for IP creation, for the industry to be kind of really robust, there must be easier funding access for those who wish to make films. And as I said, it could be short films, it could be festival-oriented films, commercial films, It could be for people from other parts of India who come in and make films in Mumbai. A lot of people from Bengal come here. A lot of people from the southern states come here. There could be the northeastern people who could come here. You know, India has so many robust industries, and at NFDC we call it the cinemas of India. So if these cinemas of India were to come in collectively and were to use Maharashtra in terms of their filming background, one can imagine the kind of fillip that it would give to, again, capacity building within the industry. In the first session, ma'am, we spoke about Tenet and the kind of capacity building that did. I think, ma'am, in terms of, there should be a celebration of cinema. When you talk about an industry status, I said this in the morning and I reiterate that if there are films which are originating from Mumbai, irrespective of the language, if they're traveling abroad, ma'am, there should be some kind of support that should be given to them, a promotional fund, be it a national award-winning film, be it a festival film. It might be recognized in a domestic festival. It could be recognized in an international festival. It could be even be India's entry into the Oscars if it originated from Mumbai, Maharashtra, irrespective of the language, irrespective of the kind of format that it is. It should be definitely supported. That would again give. When we talk about an industry, the promotional aspect of it, again, it kind of triggers down to the producer being able to make more and more films and hopefully, kind of trickle down to the capacity building aspect. Ma'am, there could be a thought of the GST issue. Again, it was discussed earlier. I'd like to reiterate that if for certain films which achieve a certain distinction, one could look at a GST refund, at least the state portion. Maybe that could work out. So I think the overall encompassing issue would be that when you talk about an industry, you talk holistically in terms of the way one can support this capacity building which is required. I'd like to end it here. Thank you again, Mr. Vats, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Vikram. I think with that, we've got everybody's got a chance to speak, and I think maybe it is the right time to, and we've also had a little bit of discussion in between, which is really good. Maybe it is just the right time to sort of talk about some of the issues which have come up, and then maybe we'll. So what I will do is I will try and first and foremost summarize some, and then we can pick up one or two where we want to discuss a little bit more and time permitting. So let me quickly put down the summary of our 1 hour. So I think if I start with Dr. Harshdeep Kamble, and I think the conversation which happened between Manisha ji and Dr. Harshdeep Kamble was very interesting. But I think what I liked about his comments was he said that these are a few things already available, and we will be very forthcoming in giving these out. So I think overlap with IT, particularly for AVGM sector, audiovisual gaming and all that. So I think that is an important one which we can look at and therefore see what more can be done within our sector. That was very clear. The production house MSME status is a very good one. I think that is a very good thought which was there. And with it comes interest subvention, which can be used if you're borrowing, and then other advantages from electricity consumption reduction and so on and so forth. So I think that was an important point. I think the point which you made was interesting, that don't ask for capital subsidy. So I think, that's a good point. And I will come to Vikram's point in the end, and I try to stitch it up in the way I have understood it, and I'll just do that. So I think thank you for that. And he's not here, but I think that's a good start. But as Manisha ji pointed out, we'll find something which is more comprehensive and for media and entertainment. So therefore, a policy dedicated there. I think Ashok's point on taking ourselves seriously, and I think his angst was very clear. But I think we've got to be taken seriously. It's a two-way thing. We've got to get ourselves more formalized. One of the challenges in the industry, I must be honest with you, is because the industry has so many sub-segments. And also the industry tends to be very entrepreneurial, which is a very good thing in a way. It's a very, very good thing in a way. But one of the challenges when such a thing happens is how do you represent to the government? And I think we've not done that really well, because what happens is there are individual voices reaching the government, whether it's in Maharashtra or it's in Delhi. And I've seen this over and over again. And with hundreds of those individual voices, it's very confusing and it's therefore, ability to get that response. I think that's important. So my other point of view is that are different arms to come together and also have some kind of an understanding and representation so that we are able to put forward few of the points which are common to the government, I think is something which we should do as an industry, is one point I would say. I think Mr. Agrawal's point on small producers is very well taken. Part of it will come in under MSME, sir, now. I think that will be very, very helpful, and I think they should look at that. Also, there is and from your point and to Mahesh's point, I think there are interlinked. I think at one level, FWIC believes that they are not being given out the right treatment. At another level, producers believe that FWIC has become a noose around the neck, and we are not able to do as much as we are able to do. And I'm being very candid because it's a small group. It's a very candid conversation I'm having. I'm taking the liberty to sort of exaggerate a little bit. But what I'm saying is, so I think we need to find the balance. And I think the balance may come, and I think there, Manishji, the request is, and I think Mahesh made a very good point, is I think one part of giving industry status is also to then formalize working practices. And I think and I would say it should be through policies. It should not be through too much of inspection, Raj, but it should be through policies. It should be through basically ensuring that everybody is registered. I think in today's day and age with digital, it is not difficult. See, in the past, it used to be a lot of paperwork. But now that we are fully digital, every producer, big or small, should register. And it's not very hard to register. And I think, we should have a portal where you register. And not only should you register yourself, you should register, and then thereafter you become responsible for the people working with you. And there can be a clear trace and all that, so that there is a mechanism. So through digital, I personally feel, and through digital and digital portals, and the Government of India and Government Maharashtra has done this, and they're capable of doing it, we should now see who all are working. Technically, we should be able to know who all are working, where are they from, how are their working conditions. All this is possible today. It is not very difficult. In the past, it used to be very difficult. Today is not difficult between Aadhaar, between digitization, between basically, so therefore now tracing as well. I'm saying the work which we've done through COVID. So I think it's not difficult. I think so we can do the role of digital and ensuring that there are better conditions for this thing is important. Insurance being mandatory is very important. I think no production should happen without insurance. Anybody flouting insurance rules should be actually penalized, because I think that's not right. And insurance is not expensive. It's only in our minds. If we take proper insurance, insurance is very, very affordable. And I think that should be done like it is done in any other part of the industry, if you look at it in general. I think that's very important because, so therefore that's an important part. I think from there, moving on to what many things, Vikram, you said, which are very good. I think IPs, and therefore our IP and our IP registration has to become better. I think one thing which I would request is it is still not as competent as it should be. Our IPs should be protected. This is about IP business. And I think a lot has been done. We are in a good space, but it could be better. I think that's one thing I would say. I think on the points on capacity building, I think was a very good point on skills. And I think there will be a separate session on it. So I'm not going there, but I think we should look at that. Skill enhancement, new skill building, skill development and all that. So basically building capacity is important. I think I wanted to touch upon one point, Vikram, which you raised, which is that co-production treaties we've signed, many of them, but they are not working too well. The reason they are not working very well, in my opinion, is that there is, I think we need to now simplify a bit of the Forex movement, man. So what I would say is, and I think this is a slightly different topic I'm getting into now, but it's an important one. I think in order to some flow, and I think there can be limits because I understand that it is, but I think with RBI or whatever, and again, I keep coming back to with today's digital pieces, it's possible to do it, is basically allowing some movement. So therefore, there are people who are willing to fund, and there are people who are willing to produce here, but sometimes that is not very easy unless it's a very big project. So for smaller projects, I think being able to make sure that there is some work needs to be done. I don't have the answers. I'm just raising a thought as of now that how do we simplify Forex and Forex movement is very important. And lastly, to Vikram's point, one thing which I wanted to build on is, this incentive for promotions is a very important thing. I would leave that as a very important one, especially for quality cinema or quality digital work or video work at, basically any video work. I think what happens is there are two problems most producers face. There is one problem of producing the film, but there is another problem of promoting it and launching it. I think the second problem is a big problem. And I think after a film is produced, if we can actually look at how to help promote it is an important thing. So the one area where I think government can directly involve in some incentives should be in the area of promotion. And the reason I say that is if somebody has produced it, he already has the skin in the game, right? I think he has already done, he has found that money, he has made that piece of work from then, and his love shows through. So I think it's there that we need to work on. So I think with this, I think thank you very much for everyone being there. I can see we've overshot by a minute or two. And to Manisha's point that this is a beginning. And we need
Sudhanshu,
to
Sudhanshu, can I come in a bit? Can I come in a minute?
Go ahead.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
Manisha ji, I think the government sector has to come in one of the major issues which the producers are suffering, and that are the theaters. The UFO, the distribution sectors, literally producers.
On that. There's a separate discussion happening on that.
Okay.
That's why
Our following discussion is on street and theaters. Yes.
No, it's a theater mafia which is disturbing a lot of producers. It is a very important issue.
So I think that's the other thing which can be fixed up. But this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
I like to sign off by saying again, like Manisha ji said, that this is just the beginning. And I think from here we can build on from there. Thank you for being very candid.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Manisha ji. Thank you, Achal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I would be leaving a homework for all the esteemed panelists that I would request you to actually, we've already reached out to you through our official email. So I would request you that the points that you want to elaborate and further concrete, if you want to flesh out any of the suggestions, please feel free to write to us, and then we can take this conversation forward even on one-on-one basis. And
Thank you,
even
ma'am.
and this is an open house, and even the other, we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. So even if you are not a panelist on any of the sessions, but the topic is of interest to you, please feel free to join in, and we would be looking forward for your inputs. It is just to manage the time and the thematic sessions that we have put different people on different panels, but we would want as much participation as possible. Thank you so much, Sudhanshu. Very effective moderation, I would say. In an hour's time, you really brought out so many rich perspectives from all the panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.